My child, listen carefully, because I want to speak to you about something that has been quietly happening in your heart recently. I am Jesus, and I know the thoughts that pass through your mind even before you speak them. I know that lately someone from your past has been appearing in your thoughts more often than usual. Perhaps it is someone you once trusted, someone you once loved, or someone whose actions hurt you deeply. You may have wondered why their memories suddenly returned after so much time. Maybe you saw their name somewhere. Maybe you dreamed about them, or something reminded you of the time you once shared. At first, you dismissed it as coincidence, but the feeling remained. My child, I want you to understand that sometimes the memories that return are not random. Sometimes I allow certain thoughts to surface again because your heart is ready to process something that was once too painful to face. Many people try to move forward in life by burying old wounds, hoping that time alone will erase them. But healing does not always happen by ignoring the past. Sometimes healing begins when the past is brought back into the light so that forgiveness, understanding, and peace can finally take place. You may believe that you already moved on from what happened, but deep inside there may still be unanswered questions or unspoken pain. I know how deeply those moments affected you because I was there when they happened. I saw the tears that no one else noticed. I heard the prayers you whispered when you felt hurt and confused. Nothing about that season escaped my attention. Even when it seemed like your world had been shaken, I was walking beside you. My child, when someone from the past appears in your thoughts again, it does not always mean that the same relationship must return. Sometimes the purpose is different. Sometimes I allowed those memories to return so that your heart can finally release the weight it has been carrying. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful ways that healing begins, but forgiveness is not always easy. Many people believe forgiveness means pretending that nothing happened or allowing someone to hurt them again, but that is not what forgiveness truly means. Forgiveness means releasing the burden of anger and resentment so that your heart can experience peace again. When you hold on to bitterness, it continues to affect your life long after the original event has passed. But when you choose to forgive, you allow your heart to move forward without the chains of the past holding you back. Think about the moment when Peter asked me how many times he should forgive someone who wronged him. He expected a limited answer, perhaps a small number that would seem reasonable. But I told him that forgiveness should not be measured by counting offenses. The purpose of forgiveness is not to protect pride, but to protect the condition of your heart. My child, I know that forgiveness can feel difficult, especially when the pain was deep and the memories are complicated. But forgiveness is not something you must achieve through your own strength alone. When you bring your pain to me, I can help you release it in ways that feel impossible on your own. Sometimes the person who hurt you may never apologize or even recognize what they did. But your ability to forgive does not depend on their actions. It depends on your willingness to trust that I will bring justice and healing. There are moments when I allow someone from your past to reappear because there is unfinished healing that needs to take place. In some situations, that person may reach out to you again. In other situations, the purpose may simply be for your heart to let go of the pain that once defined that chapter of your life. Not every return means the relationship must continue in the same way it once did. Sometimes the purpose of remembering is closure rather than restoration. Other times, however, I allow certain people to return because both of you have changed through the lessons life has taught you. Time has a way of transforming hearts, and the person you once knew may not be exactly the same today. But even if the circumstances never bring you together again, the healing that happens in your heart can still change the direction of your future. My child, the reason this message matters is because unresolved pain has the power to shape how you see yourself and others. When you carry wounds that were never healed, it becomes harder to trust again. It becomes harder to believe that good things can happen in your life. But when you allow your heart to heal, you begin to see the world differently. you begin to understand that the difficult experiences of your past were not meant to destroy you, but to teach you strength, wisdom, and compassion. One day, you may meet someone who is going through a similar struggle, and the understanding you gained will help you guide them toward hope. That is how I transform pain into purpose. The story of your life is not limited to the moments that hurt you. It is shaped by how you respond to those moments and how you allow them to transform your heart. When you bring your memories, your questions, and your pain to me, I can turn them into something meaningful. My child, I want you to know that nothing in your life is beyond redemption. Even the chapters that seemed broken can become part of a greater story that reveals my faithfulness and love. If someone from your past has recently appeared in your thoughts, do not be afraid to bring those feelings to me. Ask me for wisdom, ask me for peace, and ask me to guide your heart in the direction that leads to healing. I will walk with you through every step of that process. The future I prepared for you is not defined by the mistakes or pain of the past. It is defined by the growth and transformation that happens when you trust me with every part of your story. My child, I am still guiding your life. And even the memories that return unexpectedly can become opportunities for healing, forgiveness, and freedom. When you allow your heart to release the weight of the past, you will discover a peace that makes it easier to move forward into the next chapter I have prepared for you. Trust me with your story, because I am the one who can turn even the most painful moments into something beautiful.